seats and settle down. Thank you. Hi, everyone. If you're there, please, can you make your way to the seats? Can everyone please settle down so we can start? Hello, everyone. It's our last panel of the day. Let's sit down, please. Settle down. Give respect to our panelists so that we can start immediately.
Welcome to another exhilarating day at AFRIF, where Africa's cinema takes center stage.
Hello, everybody. For this session, we'll be talking about how to make a blockbuster. And we're looking at, we're riding on the wings of the success of Shanty Town. Please, can I have on stage here, Chichi Wara, can I have you on stage here, please? Put your hands together for her. Can I have Nancy Sime? Can I have Chidi Mokeme? Where is he? Okay. And where is Iniedo? Put your hands together for Iniedo. And Nse. Where is she? Nse and I used to be married. We recently got divorced, but from the look of things, I might just marry her again. Put your hands together for Nse. Hi. Let's wait a bit for Chido. There he is. Put your hands together for Chidi as he comes.
Why does it feel sexist? Come, sit here.
Silence, man.
Yeah.
Was this deliberate that you're the only guy amongst all these beautiful women?
Thank you so much.
Test your mic. Test your microphone, please. Test microphone. Are we good? All right, like I said, we're looking at how to create a blockbuster, and we will be riding on the wings of the success of Shanty Town, a Netflix series. And we have the producers, we have some of the actors here, and we'll try to do justice out of making a blockbuster. Let me start with Chichi. Let me start with you. The journey to making a good film is critical, because if you fail it, if you are not on the right path, chances are you fail it. And what all of us aspire to do is to make a good film. The journey is the same, but the road is different. How was the road to making Shanty Town?
Good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you, to see everyone here today, coming to stay with us and, have a discussion on how we made Shanty Town. My name is Chichinwara. Okay, coming to the question, making a film as a creative, it starts with a story. So I want to appreciate the head writer of Shanty Town, Xavier, somewhere here. Stand up. So that's the guy, okay? Yes. So it's a long process if you want to make a good story, a good film. Long time ago, 2018, yeah. So the story idea came, spoke with Xavier, we thought about it. He wrote it. He scripted with Donald. So, but in the process, we had to talk about the story. We talk about the story, building the characters. Just like Victor said when he was talking about licensing, for people to commission you or license, something very important about filming is characters. I can see all of you love Scar. Then you begin to look out for the people that can interpret it. So for Scar, I will give kudos to Ini and Yolanda. They were both that thought about bringing in Chidi to become Scar. So you have to look out for someone that can interpret the character, because if you give it to anybody, that story can become ordinary. But Chidi took Scar's character to the next level. So I give the credit to Ini and Yolanda. So building the characters, going through your pre-production, beginning to, do your auditions, reading, getting your characters, and then you finalize to getting your crew, the people that you're going to do it with. It's not only, it's a teamwork. So you need your director to understand what you want to achieve. You need every other person in your team to come along with you on what you want to build. So it goes that way down to principal photography. That means shooting. So after the filming, you have to take your dailies, the DITs. You take your dailies and begin to do your post-production, your sound design and everything. So that's the journey. And then afterwards, remember, you need to market, you need to distribute. So I always advise people, the young filmmakers, once you have the story, once you've locked down the story, it's good, you've sourced your funds to film it, please look for a distributor at that point so that it will not be difficult for you to sell. So they can guide you all through. If it's something they know they can't sell or they need to add one or two things to enable you sell, they will tell you at that point. So that's the journey. So distributor gets it to either the cinemas or the streaming platforms, and then you begin to market. So that's actually the journey of Shanty Town. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Put your hands together for her. I'll come back to you again. Since we're talking about Scar, Chidi Mokeme, basically, it's always a delight when an actor comes through, especially when the director has a particular idea of how the character should be, and the character truly comes true. It's a delight even for the producers that they are getting what they bargained for, because by and large, they want to sell a good film. So for you, Chidi, how was it like to embody the character Scar? What was your journey like in trying to embody the character Scar?
Yeah, good evening, everybody. So, yeah. So I think the journey of Scar started really from the pages of the script. You know, as soon as you flip the first page, you see where the story is going. Then I got to meet the character for the first time, I think somewhere down the line. You know, the way Scar's character comes in, you hear about him before you see him. So in getting the script, I heard about him, I was eager to meet him and see what he was like. And as soon as I met the character, I knew that this guy was totally different, you know, from anything I had played before. So, then the script, you know, first time I met Xavier, I said to him, man, thank you for bringing this beast to life, because if the script didn't provide for him, the character wouldn't be there, you know. So the character got all of his backstory, all of his innuendos, all of those small little bits and things from the pages of the script, and then it was time to flesh it out. Now, for me, I think every character deserves justice. Good character, bad character. If you're going to play the character, you have to do justice to the character. You have to leave your preconceptions. You have to leave your belief system, your perception. Don't judge the character. I think that was the first rule. Do not judge the character you're about to play, so that you can be true to the character. Because most of the things that Scar was capable of or Scar was able to do, I wouldn't do normally. Don't do that.
In talking about that, you know, Chidi, not everything.
Okay. Some part of what Scar did.
There you go.
So some part of what Scar was capable of doing, you know, I really couldn't have conceived or conceptualized, you know. So by not judging him, I'm able to give in fully to the character, the way he reasons, the way he thinks, the things he wants to do. You just let him be, you know. I don't say, no, you can't do that. Oh, that's too extreme. Oh, that's morally wrong. No, just let the character be real. So one of the first things that I did was go to a place where I knew I had seen that kind of lifestyle, you know. I know growing in this industry, we started from Surulere, around Clink Studios, Cover Studios, off Adenero Gusoya. And right there across the road was Shita. How many of you are familiar with Shita? So there's a ghetto right across the road called Shita, you know. And I know from visiting there on a daily, because that's where we used to go and get our meals from Amala Shita, go get our turkey and designer rice, and go to Bankolemo and eat rice. So I knew that, okay, I had this memory stored away somewhere of people who lived exactly like these guys I was reading about, you know. So my first visit was really to Shita to go and refresh my memory, to see that people were still living like this. There were still people surviving on the streets. There were still people looking up to bosses, different hierarchy on the streets. Even though they were homeless, they were there looking up to one boss who's looking up to another boss who's looking up to another boss. So, and that was the first eye-opener for me, because, I mean, you've been away from that scene for a long time. You needed to go and be sure that people were still behaving in this kind of way. And as soon as I walked into that environment, John, I could just see there were all sorts of scars in the making, you know, right in front of me, all sorts. So all I had to do was combine, put it all together and say, okay, who will be in a position to control all of these people coming from different backgrounds, behaving in the way that they're behaving? I put it all together, and Scar had to come and stay in control. And that's just it.
Put your hands together for him.
Thank you.
Insa, this question is for you. You have come a long way. And I wouldn't be wrong if I say, by and large, largely you are a method actor. And you're very choosy, very picky with your roles. I can tell you that for free. How was it for Shantytown? Why did you say yes to the script?
Hello, everyone. It's working. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for coming out to listen to us. I doubt that I have much to say. Hello, John. I know we're not married, never been married, never will be married. Sorry. Yes, so when I got Shantytown, I found it really interesting. It was a lovely story. Honestly, I think I can be honest. Did I do it because of Ene? Not necessarily. I did it because of the story. It wasn't my character in particular that drew me to the story. It was the story.
As a whole?
As a whole. And I thought, maybe I can play her differently. Maybe there was something different that she'd have. But I didn't want to miss out on the world of Scar. I think it was more Scar for me, because that's the character that I envy. I really loved him. I loved him so much, and I wanted to be a part of his world. So that's what it was for me, really.
Scar love you too.
Ini, is it the same thing for you? Why did you decide to play that character? Why? How was your journey?
Good day, everyone, and thank you for being here. For me, it wasn't just the character, like Nisa just rightly said. Everything about the script, the story itself was very compelling. I fell in love with it by just reading the first few scenes. From the opening scenes, before I even got into the middle of the scene, I'm like, this is a great story. So it obviously was more of a Scar story than it was for anybody else. But just being a part of that whole world was just something that was very exciting to do. So in as much as my character was, for me, I had a good time playing it. The fact that there was a lot of complexity around that character. And it was challenging in a certain way. And what we were willing to do with that character was also all of the motivation I needed. So it was, it's just the story, the characters. The characters were distinctively explained and broken down. And each and every one of them were very interesting to read. So just being a part of the whole Shanty process was it for me.
I like the sound of that Shanty process. Nancy, how are you? Okay, for you, Nancy, there was something about your character, talking about the nudity and the exposition and all of that. Did you take that into cognizance before taking this role? Was it a quick yes for you? Or a maybe, let's see how it goes, I will try?
Okay, it's crazy how we went straight to that. Okay, it's working now for now. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming out. I'm trying to say exactly how everyone started, yes. But thank you so much for coming out. We're really grateful you're here. Taking on the role, Shalewa, to be honest with you, that nudity part was literally nothing compared to the entire story, the entire process. It was nothing. But for me, when I saw it and I read, I was like, wow, amazing. And when I saw that part where, Uncle Arimdi's character grew up playing, and I was like, I trust now. By the time we come on set, just stay like this, you see. And then I was upstairs, and they were like, "Oh, you can just chill. We already know the story. It was a big story, so there's nothing I'm hiding now. And we'll have someone do that." And I was like, "Okay, cool. I will just wait upstairs, and I'll do the other things and do all the acting." And so when that happened, I didn't even take it into mind because it's acting, it's a film. And the importance of that scene, which is oppression, maltreatment, abuse, was too powerful. But I think a lot of people are just obsessed with seeing my nakedness, that they made it about Nancy Seaman. It's just like, hello, Ishalewa, leave me, you know? And then I felt like the best thing to do is just say, it's not mine. So watch this series and talk about what is important. Okay, can we move on to what is important? For me, that was what was really at the back of my head, because I feel like that was drowning it. And we know how social media is. If you don't quickly set things how it's supposed to be, people will drown the beautiful performances that cover it because they just want to be petty. So when I took the script, I didn't think of it as anything. I thought it was an important, in fact, the message behind it. Apologies, Nigerians, but if we were not so sexually driven, we would see what that scene was for it. Yeah. We wouldn't see it as a reason to be turned on.
See beyond.
We would see what that scene was for. There's literally, thank you. We'll literally see a man who is molesting a girl that he has no business molesting. But then again, not his breast. Wow. Hey, one this night though. Oh, Vaseline, don't show. Come on. I took it away from them, and I took it away. That night, I made sure it was miserable. Go and use your normal websites. But that's it.
Okay, interesting. So Afrif is, this year again, is Indigenous for the Global, you know. And I think largely Shanty Town has that thing about, of course, it's gone global. How strong do you think it is in terms of appealing to the global audience? And this can go for every one of us, you know, from the producer's perspective and from the actor's perspective. Let's just have that conversation.
Starting with the language, you know, if you look at Shanty, you can see Ibibio and Igbo, Hausa, Pidgin, you know, Yoruba. So it's local. And then you travel outside the country and you see people talking about Shanty. It's global. So it is.
In fact, that's why you're here in the first place.
So that is it.
That's why we're all here.
Yes. So first of all, your first audience. Hello. So first, your audience should be your local audience. Your people should be your first audience. Every other thing you want to do, because Nigerians are everywhere. Also, stories can go from any part. We watch Korean films. We don't even hear, I don't think we understand the language. We read the subtitles. So once the story is good, it can be consumed anywhere, globally. So your first target audience should be the locals, because you need relatable stories. Once you get that done, forget about every other thing. So basically, ensure that it is well told for your local audience. Impute the things that the foreigners want to see. Just like, you know, when they were talking about licensing, you can't go and do, you know, try to copy the Hollywood. They are also looking for stories. In fact, they are now in Africa. So you don't need to try to be them. So make it local. And it's still global. Because when you go everywhere, you hear people talking about Shanty. That means it's global and it's local and it's global. So it covers everything. Primarily, your primary audience should be, your local audience should be your focus. Then every other thing follows. So we had to impute the language, thanks to Ini and Nse and Uche Jumbo. Yeah, she's not here. Yeah, but she was everywhere. Yeah, so she also encourage the Ibibio language, Nse as well, Ini, and fortunately both of them are from the same place. So, and Chidi speaks Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, so it was easy to have him discuss with Alinduhu. I think that part you didn't see it, so it was easy for him to discuss with Alinduhu. I think we should also look forward to that maybe in the next season.
Thank you so much. Just to write on what she said about, Africa going global with our films. There was a time in the life of actors, well, to the best of my knowledge, where the next big thing was Hollywood. Literally, someone would see you and say, you don't belong here, you belong in Hollywood. So if we all go to Hollywood, who will be here? Who's going to act our films? Even if I do make it to Hollywood, by the grace of God, I want to be in Hollywood as a Nollywood actor. I do my bit and I come back home and I do the kind of films I want to do here. Because look, money is being pumped into productions these days that it's only a matter of time before we'll have budgets that are just as big as Hollywood films. And I know fully well that there are actors right now who packed their bags the minute people started saying you're too good for Nollywood and traveled abroad to be there. I know, yeah. I don't know their names, but I know. Because they're also encouraging me to do same. No, please don't mention that, come on. But I know that there are actors who packed their bags, went into Hollywood thinking Nollywood would never be anything, but guess what? The world has come to us. Netflix is in Nigeria. Blood Sisters is a global success. Shantytown is a global success. The Black Book is a global success. Do you know what that means? Do you know what it means for you to check the global platform and see a Nollywood film as top 3, top 5, top 10? Listen, there's no boundaries for Nollywood right now with the social media age. So, and we have to give props to all the producers and all the actors and the veterans and people like Nse, people like Ini, people like Chidi, who stayed back to make sure that this industry is what it is. Because guess what? If everybody all left and went there to be second fiddle to the white man, because we'll always be, yes, even last fiddle safe, before they consider you for a proper role, a role like Shadewa, before they will consider me in a Hollywood production for a role like Shalewa, come on, years to come. So I'll be there trying to do other things to go by while trying to get there, but then I'll be doing petty jobs and killing my creativity and my spirit and my passion when I can be right here on my motherland, on Nigeria that I love so much, and make a name to the extent that I'm here as a Nigerian and I'm traveling to the US and people are saying, Nancy Sime, what are you talking about? It's happening. Actors, but there are some I remember because the platforms keep forcing these people down our throats. Eventually, there'll be too many Nollywood films for us to even look at Hollywood films because there'll be too many good films. So we're getting there. So the people who continue to critique us and continue to pick and say, oh, this person's wig is this, relax. We they come. Don't worry.
All right, Ini, your perception.
I think Nancy has said everything and more. First of all, I'm just happy with everything that is going on because when you talk about Nigerian films, Nollywood films, we are talking about our way of life, our culture, who we are as a people, our mannerisms, our language, our skin color, everything that represents who we are as Africans. And then we have, I always like to say that I believe that our stories are the richest stories out there. And they're very untapped. We haven't even started going into the indigenous stories from Africa, from Nigeria. Every culture has so many unique stories that even these Hollywood guys are looking at. We've seen them tell our stories in so many different times. They'll take our stories and tell it the way they want to tell it, or Uberize the whole thing, bring in their actors, and perhaps throw 1 or 2 Nigerians as backup actors or whatever. So I'm just grateful that we're living in a time where investors, people who have financiers, have begun to understand the need for us to tell our stories the way we want it told. And that's what Shantytown was able to do. It was a very relatable film. One of the reasons why Shantytown went global is because it's a story that literally the whole world can relate to. There are slums all over the world. There are slums and shanties, even in America, in Europe, where most of these things happen. The stories we chose to tell were all very relatable stories that you can point and say, oh, this is actually a story that is happening here and there and there. And so then we have bloody good actors on a plane, and a white lady sitting beside me is watching Nigerian film. I thought maybe she was married to a Nigerian man or something. So I asked her, I said, are you Nigerian? Do you have a Nigerian friends? She goes, no, that she just stumbled on something on YouTube. And then he picked her interest, so she started watching, and she fell in love with it. And she went to Netflix and downloaded all the Nigerian films on Netflix and kept it on her iPad. So she's watching them one after the other. This is a white woman. So they are here. The world we finally have gotten that recognition. There's no need. I always say, just like Nancy said, I'm not going to go and stand in any queue in Hollywood. I cannot leave my queenly position here and go and become somebody's, they'll go and be pushing me around just because I want to be in a Hollywood film. When it happens, it will happen. We will all be, we will all get, they will go there as, they will hire you as a Nigerian superstar, Nollywood superstar. You will go there, they'll give you that same treatment. Why? Because you have compelled them to recognize you and you've taken your rightful position in the industry. So I think that with everything that we're seeing today, or these days, we are the second biggest industry in the world. What about that? So we are doing the right thing. I really, really applaud all the filmmakers, the quality of films we are churning out these days.
Yep.
The dream to keep, and see, you know, the problem is that they know they show Nigerians way. Oh. If you show us way, we go do pass you. That's it. If you show us way, we go pass you eventually. And that's what is happening. We are getting there. It was slow. You know, it took us from all the times that we were doing all those Asaba films. I feel like without Asaba films, they would not be what we have today. Those films laid the foundation to what we are seeing today. So really and truly, we started from somewhere, from the bottom, but we are going to get to the top. We are getting there. So do not give up. Don't be discouraged. Just, you know, I always tell people, when you have ideas for a good story, just perhaps record it. Keep your stories. If you have a good story in your hand, that's like gold. You can do literally anything with that story. It's all up to you. So thank you once again for being here.
You want to make her talk something? Eh?
Talk something, I beg. Talk.
Okay. So, I always say you cannot be more American than the American. I think the thing that happened with Shantytown is the thing that needs to happen with Nigeria, with our government, with all of us, with individuals, which is originality on a global standard. If you mix those two things, you will always make it. Stay original, make it world standard, and you got it. You know, I've been here a long time. I've been here 30-something years, not be joke. And I've traveled everywhere around the country. And like Nancy said, people will say, oh, you're Hollywood material, you're this material. I mean, I started my career here as a model all those 35 years ago. So I've heard that for the longest time. But I've always believed, I said, no. The thing that I want to do, the thing that I love to do, the thing that I am passionate about doing, I have the platform where I am right now to continue to do it, to experiment, to push it, rather than go somewhere where I'll be begging for a platform to showcase. I always said that when the people around the world, when they are finished what they are doing, when they look into Nigeria, they'll say, do they have actors in Nigeria? Somebody will say, look on that side. When they look on that side, they will see Chidi Mokema there. That has always been the plan. I could have relocated anywhere over 20 years ago, but no. You relocate somewhere, but you don't have the platform to showcase your talent. It wasn't money. You know, it wasn't money, it wasn't the bliss, the glees, the glamour. Because when we came in, none of that was existing. When I came into the industry, I had to drop from my level to belong into the industry. Get to downgrade. Yes, now. The local where. I'll tell you a story. I had an agent when I came into the industry, my Muslim agent, Talaba Bass. Everybody knows Talaba Bass. Everybody knows Talaba Bass, one of the biggest stars in the country, right? In